And we're back for our daily NBA best bets here on Tuesday, January 20th. We've got, I believe, 7 games today in the association. We're going to cover, obviously, 5 of them with our best bets here for this Tuesday set of games. Big games today, Lakers, Nuggets, no Jokic, but still a big one. And obviously, we got a game, I guess, in Golden State or in San Francisco between the Warriors and the Raptors. Why is that big? Well, Jimmy Butler last night tears his ACL, obviously, for the Golden State Warriors. That absolutely sucks, out for the season. And, when we talk about, and I know, again, we got that Warriors bet wrong yesterday, but when we talk about Steph Curry desperately needing help and the guy you're paying $40+ million to is out for the season, oh man, that's not good for Golden State. Anyways, folks, before we get into the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily NBA best bets here on the channel. I will say this right now, I'm recording this on my laptop. My computer like broke. I don't know. It's being repaired right now. It's going to take about 3 to 5 days. So I don't have my computer currently. I'm going to be using my laptop for the time being. I think everything's sorted. If you watched our college basketball best bets earlier today, my camera was kind of lagging some and it was like freezing in and out. I don't know if it was that noticeable. Obviously I can notice. I think I fixed it. I hope we're not like kind of lagging right now. So hopefully we're fine. But if you do notice anything different, I am recording this on my laptop today and it'll be like this for another couple days. But I did get the graphics on the screen. So we're good on that. Again, college basketball best bets earlier today, linked in the description down below. And also our UFC predictions over on Greedo Plays MMA for UFC 324. Gigi versus Pimblett. Those are linked in the description down below as well. Okay, on to the first of our 5 best bets today for the NBA. We're going to kick things off with a money line play to start things off with the Philadelphia 76ers and the Phoenix Suns. Give me Philly at home. I'm going to take the Sixers at home, -120 against the Suns. I think it's a good enough spot for Philadelphia, a Philadelphia team that has been kind of hit or miss this season. But, I mean, the Phoenix Suns, good record, 9 games over. End of their road trip, I think that's where Philadelphia gets them. We try to look at teams and where they are at, geographically and where they are in, comparison to their road trips. The Suns have been on the road for quite a bit. They've been on the road, I think, for about over a week now at this point, and they're going to stay on the road until the 23rd. I mean, this is a 11-day road trip for the Phoenix Suns. I think the 76ers, and I know the Lakers actually on a pretty big road trip too, obviously. We will be talking about the Lakers later in the video, not with a money line because they are still banned until Austin Reeves comes back, and shout out to them again for coming through a couple nights ago, just as a fan, shout out to them. But we will talk about the Lakers and their long road trip as well. But the 76ers do get the Suns on the, in the later part of their road trip. I think the Sixers do win this game. I do need to put this out here right now. Jared McCain obviously has been sent down to the G League, which, ooh, man. Can they just trade him? Can they just get him out of Philly, please? I think that, I don't know. I will see. Is he back now? Oh, he might be back. Did they call him back up? I mean, I know he played very poorly in the G League. I don't know what's going on with Jared McCain. Can they just trade him and get him to a team that kind of sucks so he can just put up numbers? Like, put him in Sacramento. They'd have too many point guards. Just put him on a bad team and let him work, man. Can the Pacers buy low and make Jared McCain, I don't know if they want him for just be a backup. I don't know. Regardless, get Jared McCain on a team that's not very good so he can actually start shining a little bit. That's all I want. Get him in New Orleans for all I care. I know they get DeJounte Murray back sooner rather than later, but there's a spot in this league somewhere for Jared McCain to be successful. It's just not Philly. As for tonight, though, I am taking the 76ers to beat the Phoenix Suns. I mean, the play this year out of Tyrese Maxey has just been absurd. Again, you don't need me to tell you that. Maxey's been a top 10 player in the sport this season. You combine that with the fact and with, just the way Joel Embiid can play at his best. Yeah, the Sixers are very dangerous. Now, Philadelphia did play last night against the Indiana Pacers, and Joel Embiid did play. Embiid dropped 30 and 9. I don't know if he's playing tonight. There has been nothing as of 1:30 in the morning. That's when this video is being recorded. There is nothing about Joel Embiid even being on the injury report. I know Embiid doesn't usually play back-to-back, so I'm not expecting him to play. But as of now, there actually is nothing on Joel not giving it a go. Again, it's Joel Embiid, his passive injuries. I would not expect him to play this game against Phoenix. But why would they play him the Pacers game? Think about, again, from the Sixers perspective, we want to play Embiid for the hardest remaining game. That's quite easily Phoenix on the back-to-back and not Indiana. But they did need a win after dropping back-to-back games at home to the Cleveland Cavaliers. The first one, not competitive. Second game, very competitive. Embiid drops 33 in a 117-115 L, obviously, to Cleveland. As for the Phoenix Suns, again, they've been on this road trip for quite a bit. This is their 5th game of the trip as they lost their first 2 in Miami and in Detroit. But now coming off back-to-back L's against the New York Knicks and the Brooklyn Nets. And my goodness, just how bad are the Knicks? Just how bad is that team? How about 4 straight L's? 5 of 6 L's. They get booed at the Garden against the Dallas Mavericks. The East is wide open. What do I keep saying? The Knicks were never serious. I know Boston's not playing their best competitive game in a cover yesterday against Detroit. As long as the Celtics get the 2 seed, they're winning the Eastern Conference. Even the 3, I don't care. Celtics are getting the 2. For some reason, there's talk now Tatum might not come back, which, if he doesn't, thanks. Thanks for trying to get us excited for Jason Tatum's return. And then I'll never put money on the Celtics to win anything ever again. But thought he is coming back this year? I don't know. Apparently maybe not anymore. So, I don't know, man. Who knows what's going on with the Celtics. They look good, though, against Detroit. I still think they actually have a pathway of winning the East without Tatum, but I think he should still play. Anyways, if he can, obviously. Regardless, I'm looking at the Suns, again, winning their last 2 games against the Knicks and against the Nets. Not the best of teams, at least right now. I know the Suns this season have overachieved, definitely, the way that Dylan Brooks has stepped up into a number 2 role, the way Devin Booker has played. And let's not forget they're doing this without Jalen Green, who is still currently injured. Phoenix currently finds themselves as the 7 seed in the Western Conference. And if the Suns win tonight and the Lakers lose tonight, then Phoenix will find themselves in the top 6, and the Lakers will be back in the play-in. Are we serious? Oh, my goodness. That's awesome, isn't it? That's just great. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Anyways, I'm going to be going with Philadelphia to win, not just because the Lakers need this to happen. I just think stylistically the Suns don't match up all too well against Philly. Again, on the road, Sixers finally got back in the win column yesterday. We shall see if Embiid does play tonight. If he does, then I really like it for Philadelphia, but I am still taking the Sixers under the assumption that Embiid's not going to play. So what does that mean? We need a big night out of Tyrese Maxey. The only injury currently the Sixers have listed is Paul George. Paul George did not play yesterday against the Pacers, and again, they don't usually play PG for back-to-back, so we can imagine Paul George will likely play tonight. So we probably get PG back in the lineup, yay, I guess, and no Joel Embiid. I'm still going to take Philly to get this one done. I'm going to take the 76ers at -120 at home against the Phoenix Suns. I do believe they're able to cover this one or just win the game outright at home. On now to our second best bet of the video. We move to a matchup over in Chicago, Illinois. It is the second night of a back-to-back for the Los Angeles Clippers as they take on the Bulls. I'm going to take Chicago here. Chicago -3 against the Clippers, to me, it feels like a good enough line. I think the Chicago Bulls are in a good enough position to win this game, coming off of a win in the last outing against the Brooklyn Nets. Clippers have won a bunch of games in a row, but again, the injuries are starting to creep up. They are winning a lot. They're back in a play-in spot, but no Kawhi Leonard. The Bulls are getting healthier. I'm going to take Chicago. This Clippers run does need to come to an end eventually. I'm not telling you the overall, run's ending, but the Bulls do get Josh Giddey back tonight. Giddey was assigned to the Windy City Bulls for a whole 8 hours, and the Bulls brought him back up. I don't know why they always do that. They did that to their rookie 25,000 times this season, but it appears Josh Giddey will be making his return. First game played since that hamstring injury back on the 29th of December. Absolutely massive re-addition to this Bulls lineup. Obviously, Josh Giddey not going to be an all-star of the season. At least that's not what I expect, even though he's putting up deserving numbers, averaging 19, 9, and 9. Third most assists in basketball, but I think Giddey's going to fall a little bit short, unfortunately for him. But still, Giddey's been playing at an all-star caliber pace this season, and getting him back just makes the Bulls that much more dangerous. They've been able to kind of stay afloat without Josh Giddey. Trading wins and losses, really. They did lose 3 in a row to Charlotte, Boston, and Detroit, but they've recently been trading wins and losses without Josh Giddey in the lineup. Obviously, they've been dealing with a Kobe White injury as well. But getting Giddey back is absolutely massive for the team, and I don't like the Clippers on a second night of a back-to-back. Nothing yet on, designation on who is and is not going to play. Obviously, the big question mark is going to be around James Harden. I have to imagine he's going to play. Obviously, Kawhi Leonard has been shut down and sent home. Again, not like Chris Paul being sent home, but different manner, obviously, because he's been playing so much and he's injured, is Kawhi Leonard, so that's why they sent him home back to LA to try to get him ready for the next homestand. A lot has been put on James Harden. We had Harden's over yesterday. It hit. He scored 36 points against the Wizards in 37 minutes. I mean, the amount of minutes he's been playing is just crazy. You're seeing James Harden play 40 minutes per night, which is great, but he's 36. Eventually, it's going to catch up to you. I'm not telling you the Clippers are going to throw this game, but guys, there's a reason why the Bulls are 3-point favorites. The way the Clippers are playing and the winning streak that they're currently on, Los Angeles has now won 6 straight games, and what is it? They've won 9 out of 10 now, 10 out of 11. You would think they'd probably be favored in this game just straight up. No, it's the reason they're not. Second night of a back-to-back. Vegas knows something we don't, and at the same time, too, Chicago is going to get their best player back, and the Bulls, again, are much more dangerous with Giddey in the lineup. You re-add Giddey into the starting lineup with Kobe White, with Isaac Okoro, with Modest Buzelis, and with Nikola Vucevic. This is a dangerous team. Again, are they dangerous in the sense where they're going to win the East? Obviously not, but they're dangerous in the DeMar DeRozan Invitational. Sorry, I mean the play-in tournament. Because again, we just have to mention it, guys. The play-in pals are almost officially back, okay? Actually, yeah, we can say that. We'll just say the Magic are one under. The Magic have the same record as the Cavs. So we've almost completed the Big Four in the play-in once more. Magic, Heat, Bulls, Hawks, the same 4 teams every single year. They always find their way in. However, the Bucks might overtake Atlanta. Obviously, the Hawks yesterday with a legitimately historically bad shooting night from beyond the arc. One of the worst three-point shooting nights at home ever on Martin Luther King Day in Atlanta. Way to go, guys. What did they shoot? 2 for 26 from beyond the arc in the first half, 1 for 26, and they yet almost still beat the Bucks because the Bucks suck. Whatever. Someone under 10 games, with someone 10 games under 500 is going to find their way into the play-in this year, and it's going to be hilarious again to play in the DeMar DeRozan Invitational. Anyways, I'm going with the Bulls here. Going Bulls -3. Clippers on tired legs. This has been not that long of a road trip, but it's been a road trip for them. It's been a 5-day road trip so far. They've been on the road for a little bit. The road trip ends after this game against the Bulls. Clippers trying to get this over with. Did win yesterday in Washington, but it took an effort. You know, the way that they've been playing, you'd think that, okay, they probably beat down on the Wizards. They only won by 4 points. And that a lot has to do with, obviously, the fact that Kawhi Leonard's injured, and Kawhi Leonard did not play. Everything's been put on Harden, and these guys are old. They're experienced, and they win games, but I don't know how many back-to-backs this team can go through. You still got Kawhi out, Bogdanovic out. A lot's going to be put on Harden, Zubac, Batum, Brook Lopez. All these guys are over 35. Half of your rotation's over 35 years old, and yeah, it's been winning you games, but on the second night of a back-to-back on the road against a Bulls team that gets their best player back, I can't trust the Clippers personally. So I'm going to go Chicago -3, and again, I do think it's quite notable too. Again, Giddey's still technically questionable, but we do expect the Australian to play tonight. I do believe, though, it is meaningful to say that the Clippers have won so many games in a row, they've looked very good, and the Bulls, who, again, are under 500, and yes, technically have a better record than the Clippers, but still, not by much, actually. The Bulls have 2 games on the Clippers at this point now, but Chicago's still favored. Again, Vegas probably knows something we don't. I like the Bulls in this spot. Not entirely where I would expect this line to be at. But again, I'm telling you, Vegas knows something we probably don't here. Maybe Harden doesn't play. I don't know. Again, end of the road trip, no Kawhi. Maybe the Clips kind of phone this one in a little bit. Finally back in the play-in now, too. Clippers officially back in that 10 seed. It's just where they want to be, obviously. They do have the potential to honestly get to 8, so we'll see. But regardless, I'm going to be going with the Bulls at home -3 against the Los Angeles Clippers. On now to our third best bet of the video. We go to our first player prop of the day, and we go to Denver, Colorado for the Denver Nuggets and the Los Angeles Lakers. I am under the belief that Nuggets-Lakers is going to start going differently now with Luka on the squad. I mean, we have not seen that matchup much yet with Luka. As last year, I mean, if my memory serves me right, Luka only played Denver once last year, and they won by 23 points. I think that's the only time. Yeah, okay. With the Lakers, at least. Yeah, Luka only played the Nuggets once last season in Denver. They won by... Oh, no, they played him... Well, they did play him twice. Yeah, no, they're 2-0 against Denver with Luka. I forgot that game happened in LA, but the one I'm remembering is Luka's third game as a Laker. They were 1-2 in the Luka era going into that one. They had won that game against the Jazz, and they lost the second one in Utah, and then they ended up losing the Charlotte Hornets on their own home court. They went to Denver and beat the Nuggets by 23 points. Luka was struggling mightily, really just in general, prior to that game prior to the Denver game. Comes out there, scores 32 points against the Nuggets. I understand we need 33 tonight, but think about it. That's fat Luka at the time, who, just got traded from the Mavs, like low-key depressed Luka. He still goes out and scores 32. And that was the game that Luka really broke through with. Went 4 for 9 from beyond the arc, and the Lakers just got to such a hot start on that night and ended up beating the Nuggets. I'll never forget that night, too. We hit a Lakers and St. Mary's parlay. St. Mary's beat Gonzaga on the road. Lakers beat the Nuggets on the road. It was a crazy plus 1,000 parlay, give or take. Plus 750 parlay, I think. And, oh, man, that was a great night. Anyways, Lakers go into Denver and win. The second time the Lakers play the Nuggets with Luka, Luka scores 31 in a victory in 32 minutes. So I do believe Lakers-Nuggets is going to start to go a different direction now. They are 2-0 in the Luka era playing Denver. Obviously, much different circumstance tonight with no Joker. Jokic still, I think he's approaching a return. I don't think it's close yet. I'd always jokingly had said that, Jokic was just going to come back. He's been targeting this exact game against Los Angeles. We shall see. The latest report on on Jokic was about a week ago. It was said by Shams that he had resumed on-court workout. So obviously, Jokic definitely not playing today. Nuggets injury situation has been brutal. Obviously, no Jokic, no Valanciunas. Obviously, we talked about their finding of scoring with players like Jalen Pickett and company, with Tim Hardaway Jr. coming off the bench and scoring a ton of points. Spencer Jones' emergence as well. Jalen Pickett as well. Murray, Gordon, and Hardaway all probable tonight. They're all going to play. But again, the big one, no Jokic as well as Valanciunas. Christian Brown tonight not going. Brown still got a lingering injury. They've already marked him out for this game against Los Angeles. So a different style of game at least here. Lakers, Nuggets, no Jokic on the court. Obviously, Jokic not pulling out his bull crap tonight. We will see Jamal Murray. And, I know Jamal's been playing phenomenally this season. He's going to be an all-star. This has been the best year of his career. But, we've always seen all-star Jamal Murray when the Lakers play him. So, the way he's played this season is nothing new to me because I've seen Jamal Murray burn the Lakers for years at this point. So, again, nothing changes in my evaluation of Jamal Murray because what I always see watching him play the Lakers. Los Angeles finally got off the schneid after back-to-back L's against the Hornets and the Blazers. Luka comes back. They beat the Raptors. They dominate the Raptors. Okay, 25-16. Lakers have a much better record at this point this year than they did last season, yet we find ourselves in 6th. Great. I mean, it could be back in the plan. I do believe they're actually going to beat Denver, but the odds actually have the Lakers at -3. I'm okay. I think they should win. Am I that confident in it? No. I think Luka, though, is going to play really well against Denver. We saw last year, played fairly well against this team. Only 25 points against Toronto, but I do expect about 40 tonight out of Luka. I just do. Luka in Denver, I think he realizes, and I know he realizes the Lakers' past struggles in Denver, and Luka, again, as a Laker against the Nuggets, is 2-0, 1-0 specifically in Ball Arena over in Denver, Colorado. I think we see a big night out of Luka scoring. I think we see potentially 40, and I do think we see the Lakers win. But again, we're not betting on the Lakers to win anything until Austin Reeves comes back, and when I don't have to watch Marcus Smart start for this basketball team anymore. And guys, when is Gabe Vincent being traded off my basketball team? Okay? I am sorry. I don't want to watch Gabe Vincent play basketball anymore. I'd rather watch Bronny James. And I'm serious. I think Bronny's a better player than Gabe Vincent right now. Or Kobe Buffkin. It's not that tough. Just play Kobe Buffkin over Gabe Vincent. That's not a difficult thing either. But, we guys don't want to play Gabe Vincent. Anyways, how about Jared Vanderbilt, by the way, with a crossover ankle snatching dunk in the last game against Toronto? Where has that been all career long? I don't know. Whatever. I'm taking Luka tonight. I think Doncic is going to go over his points. I do need to mention this as I'm talking about the Lakers. Doncic, obviously the leading vote getter for the All-Star game. I have a feeling that that's going to continue, obviously, because, well, he's Luka, and now he plays in the Lakers. On top of that as well, LeBron James, not voted an All-Star game starter for the first time in 21 years. Obviously, he's going to be an All-Star. He has put up All-Star numbers. Is he a starter? I'd argue he still should be. I mean, guys, LeBron James is averaging 23 points per game, 23, 6, and 6. 23, 5, and 6. I mean, I guess it's not all-star starter numbers, but that's obviously all-star numbers. We know Austin Reeves, who's averaging 27, is going to find a way to not get into the game, which is absurd, but whatever. LeBron James still is an all-star. He'll be an all-star in his 22nd season for the 22nd time. Anyways, though, that is notable that LeBron is coming off of a first time ever not starting the all-star game. It is what it is. I have a feeling LeBron's not going to show up to all-star weekend this year. Actually, no, he probably will, because I don't think LeBron's retiring, but I don't know. LeBron, obviously, last year decided day of, I'm not going to play this. Why am I playing the All-Star game? Yeah, I'm going to sit on the bench. And Norman Powell, no All-Star for you, because I'm just going to show up and not play. Whatever. I'm going to take the Lakers, Luka Doncic tonight, over 32.5 points, big time spot on NBC. I expect Luka to show up, and I expect the Lakers to actually show up as well in Denver. I know, scary proposition, but I'm going to go Luka over 32.5 on the road in Denver. On now to our fourth best bet of the video, sticking with the player props. We're going to close the night with a spread play with the other late night game. You can probably guess what it is. But anyways, we go to the Golden One Center, Sacramento, California. We've got the Sacramento Kings taking on the Miami Heat. Give me Russell Westbrook over 14.5 points. It's not a lot. Considering what he's done in his last 5 games, going over this in each of his last 5, why wouldn't I expect him to do it again? Again, let's go over these last 5 games, and really the success the Kings have had recently, except for their last game where they lost the Blazers. A short-handed Blazers team, by the way. Yes, I know Danny Adjiva came back, but the rest of the team was injured as hell, and yet the Kings can't find a way to win. When we finally put some damn faith into this team, no, I won't complain. We hit on them as plus 600 underdogs against the Rockets, so can't complain too much. But anyways, since this Kings reemergence, of what are they trying to reemerge to be? I don't know. They're trying to reemerge to screw themselves out of the top of a top pick is what they're trying to do. But anyways, since they've started winning, Russell Westbrook has gone over this line in every single game. So go back to that Houston game on the 11th on Sunday night. Westbrook scores 15 points. Again, it's barely over the line, but still he hits. Next game against the Lakers, I will keep saying it, probably the worst basketball game I've ever attended as a fan. In terms of, like, it was a good game if you like the Kings, but obviously, I don't like the Sacramento Kings, and I had to watch Russell Westbrook go 4 for 8 from beyond the arc and 8 for 16 from the field and scored 22 points. What does Russ do after that? Plays 40 minutes against the Knicks and scores 19 points. Then against the Wizards, Russ goes 6 for 9 from beyond the arc. What? Excuse me? Yep, heard me right. 6 of 9 from beyond the three-point line for Russell Westbrook and 26 points against the Washington Wizards. Next game against the Portland Trail Blazers, how about 23 for Westbrook and an L, but still 23 on 9 of 15 shooting. Westbrook's getting buckets right now. Russell Westbrook casually is now averaging 15 points per game and averaging 18 points per game in the month of January. Kind of thought this was going to be Russ's last ride, okay? It kind of felt like, all right, this is just washed Russ playing for the Kings, ending his career. Obviously, Westbrook has now played on a bunch of different squads, and this just kind of felt like, kind of like Celtics Shaq. No, I guess this is just like Suns Shaq. Like, still can kind of hoop. Still made the All-Star game. Actually, this isn't Suns Shaq. This is Cavs Shaq. That's better. Suns Shaq actually was still an All-Star. This is Cavs Shaq. Kind of, but Cavs Shaq at least was on a winning team, but Cavs Shaq wasn't very good. So, well, he was all right in spots. He wasn't Shaq, though. That's probably the best, comp I can make. At least trying to compare the Westbrook career trajectory to the Shaq career trajectory. This is like Cavs on the Shaq. Cavs on the Shaq. That's English. Shaq on the Cavaliers. Westbrook on the Kings. Playing all right, obviously. This is just the end of the Westbrook career. Wizards, Lakers, Clippers, Nuggets, Kings. I thought this was going to be his last stop. It's not going to be, I'll tell you that. Either Westbrook's going to get traded to actually a contending team at the deadline. Like, I can oddly see him going to... What team would want Westbrook? Orlando. I can see him going to Orlando at the deadline, and just I can see him going to Cleveland and the Cavs saying, okay, like if you can just do anything, like if you can just be a little bit better than Lonzo Ball, yeah, you can be our backup point guard. I have a feeling that's just where Russ is going to end up, unless Russ just wants to stay in Sacramento and start. Because if Westbrook wants to come back to the Kings next season, I think he's going to have a job there. Just like how I think Russ, if he goes to, there's going to be a bunch of teams next season where Russ is going to be, able to play. And he's proven that this year, so good for Westbrook on that. But anyways, I think we're going to see over 14.5 points tonight for Westbrook. We've seen it in each of his last 5 games. Kings tonight are playing Miami. I get it. There are some tough defensive matchups on the Heat. This is a Miami team that just played yesterday. They lost to the Golden State Warriors. We thought they were going to be more competitive. Obviously, they weren't. Jimmy Butler tears his ACL in the game. Obviously, the defensive matchup I'm talking about is going to be Davion Mitchell. Mitchell is a very good defender, I understand. By the way, Tyler Hero out now for the foreseeable future, I guess, for the Heat. Or I guess he's out for 5 games. An MRI revealed that there was a costochondral. I don't know what that word is. I'm sorry. Call me Kai Cenat. No, I'm joking. There's a costochondral issue with Hero's ribs. They'll sideline him for Miami's entire road trip. So there's that. And obviously Terry Rozier is still not playing either for reasons. But still, I think Westbrook's going to be able to score enough. I mean, we do see Russ now get up to 40 minutes per game, which is kind of crazy, but sure. 37-year-old Russ still doing the thing. I do think we're going to see enough points for Westbrook, though. I think he's able to get on the board at least with 15 against Toronto. And again, we've seen the influx in scoring recently for Westbrook. If you don't want to count the 15-point game where he barely scraped by, well, how about 22 against the Lakers? How about 19 against the New York Knicks? How about 26 against the Washington Wizards? And how about 23 in their last game against the Portland Trail Blazers? I would argue Russell Westbrook's been a bigger scoring threat. I think this is very true. Westbrook has been a bigger scoring threat recently for the Kings than Zach LaVine has been. Which, again, on paper sounds insane. I think LaVine still leads this team in points per game throughout the season. I would be shocked if he didn't at this point. Yeah, LaVine still averages 20 points per game. But recently, yes, Westbrook has been a bigger threat scoring for this team than LaVine has. And he's been putting up better numbers than LaVine has as well. DeMar, obviously, you know what he's going to do. Dribble the air out the basketball. Dribble. Okay, hold on 20 seconds. All right, mid-range shot. Whatever. I'm going to go Westbrook tonight over 14.5. I don't care the Davion Mitchell matchups there. I'm still taking Westbrook over on points. On to our final best bet of the video. We're going to conclude things tonight over at the Chase Center in San Francisco, California. Very tempted just to straight up go Toronto money line. I'll take the spread. I think Toronto's like kind of, I don't want to say due, but like it does feel like they are going to play much better than that Lakers game. Raptors look good early. I mean, I'm watching that Raptors game against the Lakers. I'm like, all right, it's just another Lakers L. Again, I don't miss Lakers games, right? I bitch and complain about them all the time. I don't know. I haven't bet Lakers money line in a very long time. At least I haven't put it on the video. Maybe sometimes there have been points where I've just bet on the Lakers personally, but obviously I'm not going to put you through that. Anyways, that's why sometimes I get more upset with the Lakers than I actually am. But, than I actually should be. But regardless, right, like, I'm watching that game early. I'm like, oh, this is just another crappy Lakers game. Here come the Raptors up by 10 in the first quarter, second quarter. Lakers go on a big run. Raptors close it, and then the Lakers kind of pull away as that game goes on. Very good outcome for Los Angeles, and really great final score. Ran away with that game in the fourth. That's what I expected of the Lakers, and that's what we've seen out of Los Angeles earlier in the season. Lakers win the game 110-93. Okay, I think the Raptors have to kind of play better. They're almost due to play better. Back-to-back bad road L's. Back-to-back bad L's. I wouldn't say the Clippers game is not a bad L to the point where, oh, look at the final score. It's just I feel like they should have closed that game out. They were in a good spot in overtime and lose the game by 4 against the Clippers up in Toronto. They come now down to California, play the Lakers L. They get the Warriors tonight, then they get the Kings on Wednesday. They're in Portland on Friday, and then they're in OKC on Sunday. So long West Coast trip that feeds obviously into the Midwest and Oklahoma on Sunday night. But I do like the Raptors enough to cover. I do think they have to kind of play better here, especially against the Warriors team, who is on the second night of the back-to-back. And yes, they've now won 4 consecutive games against Portland, New York, the Hornets, and the Heat. There's a problem. And beyond that, too, by the way, they've now won 6 of 7 games, with the only loss being to the Atlanta Hawks at home. And it's been a long home stand for the Warriors. These guys just not play on the road? Oh my goodness. How many home games? 1, 2, 3, 4. All 7. Wait, this entire thing's been at home. 8 straight games at home? They haven't been on the road since January 5th, and that was they haven't left the state of California in 2026. Because the one road game was in LA against the Clippers. What the hell is this? 20 straight days in California. Who makes these schedules? They've played 9 out of 10 games this year at home in 2026. Again, the entire season, obviously not. Really? Anyways, Jimmy Butler being out's a problem. It's a problem, and not like Jimmy, again, was having the statistically best season, right? And I like how ESPN still has him day-to-day, even though it's been confirmed he has a torn ACL. Jimmy Butler was still averaging 20 points per game. And yes, again, that was not the best efficiency we've ever seen out of Jimmy Butler. A lot of free throws, not the best, just straight up scoring out of him. But again, now you're losing 20 points per game, and you're losing a guy that you did pay over $40 million a year to keep him around from age, 35 to 38. And sure, Jimmy's going to be back next season. He'll be back likely, should be October. Yeah, he should be back, I would assume, for, opening night next year. If not, first month of the season, Jimmy Butler should be back. He's going to be 37 coming off of a torn ACL. And he was already having almost career low year in production, at least from a prime standpoint, at least since Jimmy Butler hit his prime standpoint. What is he going to be for the rest of his career? He's still getting paid. Obviously, Jimmy Butler's still going to go out there. But now you're going to get a lesser version of Jimmy Butler. Steph's doing his thing. Sure, you're going to get random great nights out of Moses Moody, out of D'Anthony Melton, out of Brandon Podziemski. How about 24 points last night for Podziemski? Big time. You're going to get these random great games out of these guys, but are those consistent? And now, is there a consistent number 2? There's not. So do the Warriors make a trade at the deadline to go get someone? Well, they're going to have to now. Do they now not trade Kuminga? They still will trade Kuminga. Because I have a feeling they're not even going to play Kuminga now. I mean, Kuminga obviously helped Butler back, into the locker room. They're still not going to play Kuminga, though. They're going to trade Jonathan Kuminga just because Steve Kerr and everybody hates him. He's 23 years old. Whatever. Again, Lakers, sign me up for Kuminga. So Kuminga can be our problem now. And I can get mad about his play and understand the Warriors fans' pain. But I mean, how do they trade for legitimate 2? I don't know. Who's there? Who can you trade for? Who are the Warriors going to trade for? Zach LaVine. But they're not going to have the money for that. So I don't know what true number 2 they can go out and get. You don't have the money to get a guy like Giannis. Obviously, the Warriors have not been ever really that in on Antetokounmpo. But you can't get him because you don't have the money, and you're just not going to have the money because you paid Jimmy. Butler's your 2. That money's not going to go away. You can't defer it like the MLB, like the Los Angeles Dodgers. I don't know what they're going to do. They're screwed. This is the team they have now. Steph, Moody, Gary Payton / Podziemski / Melton. Draymond Green, Quentin Post. Off the bench, Guy Santos, Al Horford, Pat Spencer, Buddy Hield. Will Richard. Man. Have fun with that. Like, I don't see it, guys. First game without Jimmy, I think it's going to be a struggle. And, oh, by the way, second night of a back-to-back. Yikes. Toronto, again, has struggled, but they've been dealing with injuries. They don't get completely healthy tonight. I don't know is there an official designation on RJ Barrett? I'm assuming he's not playing. Yes, okay, he's been officially ruled as out. Same with Jakob Poeltl. No CMB, no Colin Murray Boyles, and no Jacoby Walter either. It is what it is. I do believe the Raps are still going to have enough tonight. We've seen, more, well, Emmanuel Quickly's been big, obviously. We've seen Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, and, you get, with these injuries too. I like Jamal Shed quite a bit. Jamal Shed's been big, obviously. I'm surprised that the Raptors haven't shown more Dick. I'm surprised they haven't put Dick out there. No. I'm surprised they haven't played Grady Dick more. But, Dick only gets 12 minutes against the Lakers. So he's on the bench too, obviously. But I think Toronto still gets this one done. Again, I don't, both, by the way, both these teams have the same record of 25-19. I just don't know how the Warriors are going to be in this adjustment period without Jimmy Butler. It's the first game without Jimmy, and it's on the second. It's the night right after, and it's the second night of the back-to-back. Yeah, give me Toronto here. Give me the Raptors to close the night at +3.5, even without RJ Barrett, who obviously has been their big key, in their success in winning this year. It has been Barrett. I think BI and Barnes are going to have enough to win this game, and Sandro Mamuscalivili as well, playing the center position. I'm going to go with the Toronto Raptors here on the road to cover 3.5 to close the night against the Golden State Warriors. Folks, thank y'all for watching our NBA Best Bets here on January 20th. If you have not yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you just good thing the picks. We'll be back tomorrow for more daily NBA Best Bets. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.